Hey guys, what's up everyone? This is the SHANKAPOTAMOS, and I'm playing some Domination on Dome here. And I'm running around with the submachine gun. I'm killing people left and right. I'm capturing objectives. I'm getting kills with my kill streaks. You know, I really think you guys are going to like this gameplay. If I had one word to describe it, I would call it a Domigasm. There's a lot of kills in this game, and it is very entertaining gameplay. And I have a story for you guys today that I'd like to share. And it's a story that's deep from the vaults of my memory back when I was in middle school, actually, specifically 5th grade. So this was 6 or 7 years ago now, because I'm a senior in high school, and this must have been the school year of 2004 to 2005. So just visualize that time period in your head right now. Think of maybe what you were doing around that time. But a lot has changed since I've been in middle school and to how I am now. Like, just in my demeanor. Like, back in middle school I was known as the class clown, and I was kind of friends with, I guess you could say, the popular group of kids. I mean, I'm not saying I'm like a loser now, but like back in middle school it was really important to be in that popular group of kids or whatever. But it was probably just because I was like extremely outgoing and humorous, I guess you could say. But back in middle school I really got in trouble quite a lot. Like, I don't think there was a year when I wasn't in the principal's office at least once or twice in the year, and that was just basically because I think it was like disrespect to teachers and things. I was a little bit rebellious in my young age, I have to say. But one thing definitely hasn't changed since I was young, and that's that, like, I always voice my opinions, and I don't censor what I say, which could get me into trouble, and in this story you'll actually find out how it does. But like, if there's some guy and he's just like being a douche or something, I'm not like, and everyone knows he's being a douche and no one says anything, like, I'm the person who steps up and says something. And that could be a good thing, and it could also lead into some trouble too. But back in 5th grade, it was the first year when we had different teachers with different classes. Like, before that we just have one teacher and they would teach every subject, and we would stay with them for the whole day. Like, they would teach math, they would teach reading, we'd all go to lunch together. But this was the first year when we had different teachers. Like, we had a specific teacher for science, we had one for math, then we had one for reading and LA, or literature. And even though we went to different teachers for different classes throughout the day, we still stayed with the same group of kids throughout the day. Like, my class was of maybe 25 people, and we would stay with those, I would stay with those same kids throughout the day. We would just go to different classrooms to learn the different subjects. So I really liked all my teachers to begin the year, specifically the teacher who I had for reading and language arts. Her name was Miss Ireli, and she must have got pregnant in the spring or the summer or something, because she had her baby after only a month or two of school. So she went away, and obviously they're going to need someone to replace her. So what they did is they brought in this woman, if I can even call her that. She was, oh my god, you guys will see what I'm talking about. But her name was Miss Irick, and she might have been the worst thing that ever happened to Pond Road Middle School. Like, if I had to describe her in terms of Call of Duty, she might be worse than Commando, Ghost, and One Man Army Noob Tubing combined. Like, if she was a kill streak in Call of Duty, it would probably sound something like this: "Enemy super bitch incoming! It's over!" So yeah, I think that illustrates pretty well what she was like. And when she came in at the beginning of the year, I really didn't get on her good side to begin with. I don't really remember how it started, but I just turned out to be one of her least favorite students really close to when she just started to be there. And she really had favorites in the class. She maybe had 2, 3, maybe 4 kids in the class that she really liked, and they got special privileges and stuff. But I don't think many of the other students in my class really noticed that she played favorites until later in the year. But I noticed it early, and I noticed it often. And I have to say, I gave that woman quite a lot of sass every day. I was bad. I mean, I was mean to her, and she was mean to me back. So she had it coming. She started it. I don't really know who started it, looking back on it, but I think I was one of the reasons why she introduced the clothespin discipline system. And basically what that was we all had clothespins with our names on them, and we would all start on green at the beginning of the day. And then she had this whole list of rules she made because so many people were disobeying what should be classroom procedures, apparently. And So she brought in this list of rules. We had to go bring it home and sign it by our parents. And when we brought it back, we got introduced to this clothespin method. So all of our names are on the clothespin. At the beginning of the day, we all start on green. And when I say we start on green, there was a sheet of paper. I think it was a laminated sheet of paper that she had hanging somewhere in the room. And there were 4 colors on it. There was green, there was yellow, there was orange, and there was red. And basically what they were the 4 levels of classroom disruption. And everyone would start on green, as I said. And then the first time you broke a rule, you would go down to yellow. And basically what yellow was yellow was your warning. So that was your one shot of breaking a rule, and that's your chance that if you do it again, you know you're going to get in more trouble. So after yellow came orange, and what orange was in detention with the teacher. It was a lunch detention, so you had to come in at lunch and miss your lunch and sit with Miss Irick, which was not fun at all. But that was orange, and then the final level was red. And red was basically you got sent down to the principal, you got written up, and you had to get your parents called, and you got in a bunch of trouble. So no one wanted to get to red. And it just so happens that many times during the year I actually found my clothespin down on red, which was not good, and it made me extremely pissed, I have to tell you. But what we started noticing as the year went on, that it was the same people that were always getting their clothespins moved down to the levels of discipline or whatever. And a lot of times it was people that weren't even doing anything to disrupt the class. It was just people that she didn't like. And you could just tell she wanted to get them in trouble because she didn't like them, and it didn't make any sense. And then on the flip side of that, we noticed that the people, her favorites, would be doing things that they would be like talking in class, they would be texting in class, they would be doing things that aren't allowed, and she would just ignore that. So we really started hating these kids who were the favorites, and we started to band together, and we thought we need to do something about this to stop this. And then I remember one day, it really was just the final straw for me. I was having a really bad day because just this was in the spring now. I think it was May, I think it was May. My dog, who I had owned for the rest, like my whole life, my dog was born a year before me. Her name was Kimba. She was an American Eskimo, and she was old. She was like 15 years old, and she had just passed away. We had to put her to sleep. We came home from Six Flags Great Adventure near my house. I worked there this summer, but she was on the floor and she couldn't walk, and we tried to take her outside to go to the bathroom or whatever, and she just couldn't get up. So we took her to the vet, and they said that there really was nothing we could do, and she was just falling apart basically physically. So they told her we had to put my dog to sleep, and it was a very sad time because I was still young at the time. In 5th grade, I was still little, and it was really upsetting for me. And I remember the next day at school, I had something happened at school. I mean, I didn't even want to go to school. My mom told me I should, so I ended up going to school. But someone across in the room, it was a girl. She asked if I could pass a pen to her or something. So I said, okay, sure, you can borrow a pen. She was asking to borrow a pen. I'm like, that's fine. And instead of getting up to give it to her, I tossed it across the room, which probably wasn't too good of judgment, but I ended up hitting another girl in the face. And Miss Irick, of course, because I'm on her bad list and everything I do is obviously bad, she sent me to the principal's office. She moved me all the way down from green, because I didn't do anything wrong yet, all the way down to red. And I got sent to the principal's office for assaulting another student. That's what she said. She said I was assaulting another student. And this is the time when my mom stepped in. She said, this is absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe he's getting in trouble for this. He didn't do anything wrong. And I was absolutely furious at this point. I knew something had to be done because the way she was running the class was completely corrupt. I had done nothing wrong, and I got sent down to the principal's office, had to get my parents called, and it went on my record or whatever in middle school. So by this point, I told myself that I'm going to do basically everything in my power to get this woman out of my life forever, so I never have to see her fucking guts again. Okay, because I was absolutely upset and furious. So I had the bright idea of, me and my friends are actually thinking this, me and the popular kids in the grade, we were just talking, and I was like, you know what we should do? We should get all the kids in the school that don't like her to sign a petition to get rid of her. So basically what we did was, we made this petition that said, if you don't want Miss Irick to be the teacher, to be a teacher in our school anymore, all you have to do is sign this sheet here. And we weren't the only class to have Miss Irick, because we rotated around in cycles or whatever to different classes. So she had maybe 3 or 4 classes. So I'd say 75% of the kids in the classes signed the thing, because a lot of people didn't like her. Obviously, the only ones that didn't sign it were the ones who were like the favorites, and they're like, oh, why should we sign that? I like her. She's nice to us. Of course, she's nice to you, fucking bitch. But so after we did this, I was like, okay, I'm content with this. We got a decent amount of signatures. I really didn't know where I was going with this or what I was planning on doing with it, but I figured we might as well try to get more support for it. And we took it to the lunchroom. This was maybe the next day, and I realized that none of the other grades were going to care about this. The 4th graders, the 6th graders, the 7th graders, 8th graders, because they had no idea who she was. So we came up with the bright idea of we're going to change the petition to make it say, who wants free Turkey Hill ice cream and lunch every day for the rest of the year? And what middle school kid is going to say no to free ice cream? The idea was foolproof, and we were super proud of it. And basically what we did is we just did that, and then we changed the thing on the top to Miss Irick, because we wanted to get as many signatures as we could. And we thought we were so smart when we were doing this. Like, we thought we were the smartest kids ever. And the next thing that happened was the administration at the school found out, and we got called. I got called down, actually, specifically because everyone ratted me out as the ringleader, which I kind of was. So I got called down to the main office, and they came to talk to me. And basically what I was thinking was, oh shit, I'm going to be in a ton of trouble right now because of this petition, and they're going to be mad about it because it's violating some school policy or something. But to my surprise, actually, they said that there was nothing they could do to prevent that, because that was a student's free speech, which is defended by the First Amendment. So I didn't do anything wrong, but they just said that they didn't approve of it, but there was nothing they could do to stop it, and they couldn't discipline me for it. So anyway, what ended up happening was, a couple weeks later, I don't know how this ended up happening, but Miss Irick was no longer the teacher of our class, and I think what it was a combination of the petition and just I think maybe a bunch of angry parents called in after that about the teacher. So anyway, she didn't get fired straight off. She got demoted, I guess you could say, to the media center. So she was basically in the library the rest of the year, and we got a new teacher. Her name was Miss McGlue, who I actually really liked a lot, had no problems with the rest of the year, and she's still teaching there now. And I actually went back to see her a few years ago. But so she got demoted to the media center, and the following year she was not back. So I'm just gonna go off the assumption and say that she got dropped. I mean, it had to be that, or maybe she just quit because she didn't want to come back and have to face the angry students again and the angry mob of protesters. But that was basically my story on how I got my 5th grade teacher fired. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. I really do appreciate the thumbs up, and let me know if you'd like to hear some more stories about my life in the future. And I hope that what you guys take from this video is, if you're going through tough times in your life, or there's someone or something that's really bothering you, no one's going to step up and fix your problems for you, and really what you have to do is take initiative yourself to make a change for the better. And I think if everyone does that, then you'll live much better and much happier lives. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Peace out, YouTube.